Welcome to You Made the Decision, What's Next? We have a panel today of 4 extraordinary Latina women. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed with these ladies. I'm honored to, oh my God, I'm even choked up. Weird, you guys, I'm honored to have you here. Oh my goodness, thank you. That's so crazy. Thank you for joining us at the 12th Annual Denver Startup Week. Thank you to our title sponsors, Amazon, Capital One Cafe, Dell for Startups, the Downtown Denver Partnership, the Denver Business Journal. This session is part of the Spotlight track, one of 8 programming tracks aimed at sponsoring or supporting the entire entrepreneurship team or entrepreneurial team. By attending this session, you're agreeing to follow our code of conduct as well as being photographed or recorded on video. Be sure to share your experience at the session online using Denver Startup Week hashtags and hashtag MSU Denver. What is your Adelante hashtag?
Adelante Community.
Adelante Community, hashtag Adelante Community. So here are our sponsors. You can also see them right here, which is really awesome. Again, there's so many people that support this program. It's just mind-blowing. So today in this session, we are going to have Ale Spray talk about making a deposit in your confidence account. Vanessa Huerta is going to talk about how to prepare a business pitch. Maria González is going to talk about digital transformation in your business. And then Dana Rodriguez is going to kind of talk about her story and how she did it as the executive chef of Casa Bonita. That's so exciting. I can't wait to hear the story. And we're probably going to go in this order rather than how I just said it. Okay, so I'm going to start with bios. We have so much to say and so little time. So we're going to have you guys hold questions until kind of the end when it's over, where we're just standing around because we don't have enough time. And I'm actually going to read these really fast so you can hear them and understand who these fantastic women are, but so we don't have to take too much time to go through it because I want you to hear what they have to say. All right, Alejandra Spray is the Community Empowerment Manager for Mortenson, a large commercial builder in Denver. She oversees their supplier diversity program to provide opportunities to small, minority, and women-owned businesses to participate in major construction projects. She was born in Guadalajara, Mexico. She relocated to Colorado 23 years ago. This move was a defining moment as she experienced a culture shock with limited job opportunities, no social capital, but with a strong determination to make the best out of her new situation. Working in a male-dominated industry, Ale has added valuable experience to her tool belt and is committed to boost gender and racial diversity in the construction industry. Excellent. Okay, Vanessa Huerta, how do you pronounce it? Huerta?
Like a G.
Huerta. Woo. Okay. Vanessa, from Chihuahua, most of her life, is passionate about helping founders succeed and bring economic growth to their community. She serves as G Beta Managing Director at Generator, a nationally ranked venture capital firm and accelerator. She supports Generator's mission and invests in the best and brightest in different markets within the U.S. Previous to this role, she worked with startup founders in Colorado as a director of G Beta Opportunity Zone's Capital Accelerator Program in partnership with the state of Colorado. Very impressive. Okay, I'm going to do Dana and then I'll pop back. Okay, Dana is a James Beard Award-nominated chef and executive chef at Casa Bonita. So amazing. She has... Oh no. Oh my gosh. She has worked at Roja and Bistro Vendome, where she learned what it truly took to run a kitchen. She has held the executive chef role at Work and Class. It was her creativity there that earned her a nomination for the Best Chef Southwest category by the James Beard Foundation in 2015 and 2016. Rodriguez is a single mom of 3 kids who has been asked by South Park co-creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone to run the kitchen at Casa Bonita. And they've opened, so you're actively doing it. Yes. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, then Maria González, who's going to be our wrap-up today, founded Adelante Community Development, a nonprofit organization that advocates for health, equity, and economic justice for Spanish-speaking Latinos in Colorado. She is also an undergraduate student at Metro State University, where I teach, studying entrepreneurship and leadership. She is currently appointed by the governor as a member of the Minority Office Business Advisory Council, Colorado's Premium Cost Containment, and the New American Community Advisory Committee. So impressive. So that's it. Ale, would you like to begin?
Okay. I need that. Well, I'm antsy. I don't sit, I don't stand, so I'm just gonna keep moving. But meanwhile, well, thank you for the invitation, Maria. Thank you. So first I want to say congratulations, whatever you're in your journey of starting, thinking about it, or already an entrepreneur, good job. Right, it's amazing. This morning we were in a presentation by Catherine Finley. She wrote a book, Build It, Damn Thing. And she had some sober statistics about how entrepreneurs don't get much funding for women of color, because minorities are seen as risk, are seen like not really sticking to the plans, which I don't know where they get that, because if you look around, most of minority and women are the ones driving this. So as you mentioned, my bio, I work in a male-dominated industry. I'm given the opportunity to provide opportunities for minority women and small business. So if you see the convention center is going to renovation, so when the projects are funded with taxpayer money, the city and county of Denver or the government has the responsibility to allocate that part of that contract to diverse firms, as we call it. So some of those contractors do it, and in my firm, we do it regardless where the funding comes from. So private or public, we have an allocation of 10% going to that, so I oversee that. In my career, I have worked with small, minority, diverse firms. Some people call it disadvantage, but we refuse to call them disadvantage because, yes, there's some disadvantage, but they don't want to see being like that. They want to see being like a business, a diverse business, women-owned businesses. So, but I have seen the resilience, the strength of some of them. But, you know, it's also daunting, it's scary, because like I say, you go and try to find funding. You're trying to open a door, trying to say, I'm doing it. And as you can imagine, women in construction, when they come and ask for a job and the opportunity to be in a project, it's like, well, you're a woman, what you know in construction, right? So I have seen a lot of successful business going into construction. So my presentation is about the confidence, but I cannot talk much about confidence because I have to talk about the fears, right? Thank you. Right. I have done presentations about fears. I read a book about it, and these are the common fears they narrate for women, men too, that they hold us back, right? The embarrassment, that we are refused to go to even to a bank or ask a question and say, what if they don't think I'm smart enough? What if they don't think I know what I'm doing? And ties to the rejection. If I ask and they say no, what is going to happen? How am I going to affect my self-esteem? I can do a presentation about this alone, but anyways. The control, and it's interesting because in construction we feel like we control everything. We don't control anything. As you can see during the pandemic, the supplies, the lead times, the subcontractors, we don't control everything. And the last but not least is the loneliness, and it can be professional, personal, how we hold into toxic situations, toxic jobs, toxic people, friendships, just to feel like I have a circle, right? Maybe because I'm a little more seasoned, and I'm covering that season, but I decided how I focus my energy and the people that I want around me. And it's not because I'm alone, it's because I decide those people that lift me up, support me, instead of feeling like they drag me down. But again, this presentation is not about fears, it's about the confidence. And again, maybe because I'm seasoned, I think now confidence is something that I'm really proud. And I want to clarify, it's not arrogant. There's a definition. Arrogance is something different. Confidence is you know your worth, you know what you can ask, you know what you know, and you know what you don't know. And arrogance is seeing, I know everything, and I don't need to ask questions, right? Sweetie, I hold you in my heart because I know. And being a woman of color in construction, I have been denied more opportunities to grow. But we're here to support you. So I like to use the confidence two analogies. The first is the muscle, and those who like to work out. I'm not saying how often, I'm just saying we like to work out. We know the muscles just get stronger by the consistency, by how we keep doing it, how we modify our technique, how we have some people helping us to get stronger. So that's the same thing, consistency or confidence just gets stronger by just telling ourselves, I need to do it. I need to be confident about my parenting skills sometimes. In having 2 teenagers, that's put to the test more than I want to say. Confidence in your job, confidence in the people around you. And also, when we talk about the trainer you have sometimes to help you, you have to have your board of advisors. And those people, they're going to support you, they're going to cheer you. Sometimes they're going to give you a little gentle smack to say, I don't think you're going in the right way, right? And my other favorite one is the bank, right? I like to think that we make a deposit in our confidence because economics 101, we all have those, we have to have a budget, we have a balance, we have those withdrawals, and we have those deposits. But funny enough, people like to make withdrawals. And sometimes they don't even ask us for those withdrawals. They just take it. And sometimes we do it ourselves too. So how we put the deposit, and especially when you are venturing on your business, when you're going into important meetings with a funder and investor, with a client, trying to tell people, I'm capable, I know what I'm doing, I have been doing this. And like I said, just this morning, just hearing from somebody saying that some underrepresented groups are still seen like they're not capable, I think we need to work more in our confidence. So the account withdrawals, and these ones are like the ones we kind of do ourselves, and we kind of know about that. High expectations as women, and no offense to my males in the room, but as women, we're always saying, I have to do this in order for them to take me serious. I have to get this degree. I have to get this training. And I have done it because I'm taking leadership classes and everything for them to see me, I'm here, right? So we're always putting our high expectations, and also in our families, right? How we want to take care of everybody, how we want to make sure our kids are not going to be serial killers. That I still don't know about that, but I will let you know how that turns out. So far, one is in college and is doing good. The other one is still at home, kind of not hating me. It ties to the second one. We're trying to be perfect. We're trying to do the multitasking. I can do this, I can do that. Well, multitasking seems it's not working for anybody. It just gets us done. It burns us out. Right? So is that, I was reading an article that, we keep trying to do more things. We're trying to prove ourselves to our family, to our friends, to ourselves, to our jobs, and we're just burning ourselves out. And that's why some women are leaving some industries, because we're trying to do much, we're not getting recognized, and we're saying enough. And that's what we're saying, if I'm gonna work for the men, better I work for the woman and make it happen, right? The other one, we get too comfy in our comfort zone. And I'm guilty of that. And that's what they say, the growth happens when you dip outside that one. And nothing is better than saying you're an entrepreneur, you're diving into the unknowns. But sometimes that's the most exciting, and sometimes it's when you grow and you make the success happen in little things. It's like saying, that's what I'm doing, right? Constant comparison. Don't tell me nobody compares, but we have that phone, and we see on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everybody's living the best life, and you're like, oh my gosh, and I'm still working here, right? What if we cut that, and we compare to ourselves? And instead of comparing, we find the uniqueness. And in the book that I was reading, it's like, if we stop comparing, you're not gonna be one of them. And when you start contrasting, you're gonna be unique in your traits and what you have to offer. The imposter syndrome, and I have to say, I really dislike, because I don't like to use the word hate, I dislike this imposter syndrome definition, because again, it's something they're putting a burden in women, people of color, minorities. I say it's like something when you go to your doctor for your annual checkup, that you go and it's like, I'm just gonna have my blood test and everything, and they tell you, oh, you're fine, but we found out that you have this now. And you're like, well, I didn't know that, now I have to worry about that. Now I have low blood pressure, high blood pressure, so now I have to focus on that. So now they're telling us, you might have imposter syndrome. Huh? I didn't know I had it, but now you're telling me, so maybe I have it. And I tie it to the culture that we have been raised, working on, of fake it until you make it. We fake it, because that's what they told us. So when we fake it and we make it, we wonder, did I make it because I made it, or because I fake it? Right? So instead of fake it till you make it, I always offer this from the other book that I read too, that I would recommend, Hello Fears, by a Venezuelan author, Michelle Poller. Believe it until you become it. Believe who you are, believe what you know, believe your capabilities, and you become that. So no more faking, right? No more faking. And this is what I say in construction. We feel the women, we're making progress. We're climbing that ladder. And the ceiling is there, and suddenly, oh, it went up another 5 feet. Okay, I keep going, and we get exhausted. So, now, these are the words that I have heard women, maybe men, they're using that take your power away. And I'm in a crusade to help people to get rid out of your communication, your emails, your vocabulary. How many of you type, I'm sorry in an email, or I'm sorry in a conversation? I'm sorry I'm late responding to you. I'm sorry I was this. Instead, I just tell people, thank you for your patience. I'm catching up with my emails. I only say sorry if I really hurt somebody physically, emotionally, and I know that I did. But I'm not giving the stories like punch card here anymore. I'm done with that. So thank you. I might say, apologies if I didn't respond in the time frame you had, but here it is, right? Or sometimes you say, I need clarification if you need this, but when? So I know that I'm not gonna delay or hold you back. So, can we get rid of the stories? Yes. I think. No, you know. You have the experience. You believe in that. So my recommendation, my suggestion, and my experience, I see this, right? I also see in some of my meetings my young professionals, and I shake when they ask, I know this is dumb, but I need to ask it. It's like, no, don't start already pulling the rug under your feet. Like, no, it's not a dumb question. You want to know something, so you just say, I need further clarification. I need a little more explanation, or can you help me? I mean, I need to understand this, right? So, are we good? Another one. I know I'm young. I'm young, but again, when people tell me I'm just 2 years, or I just graduated from college, I think you're doing a disservice to whoever supported you to get through college. I think you spent 4 years learning something, right? Just because you're not right away in the workplace doesn't mean that you don't know anything. So own what you own, at that age, because employers are looking for that talent, are looking for that perspective. So no sorries because you're young. Again, I want to learn from this opportunity. I want to learn from this experience. I want to learn from you. So how we shifted. The other one, I'm not an expert in this, so I need to ask. No, you again have some experience, have some expertise to offer, have some perspective to offer. So you just say, well, in my experience, I have seen this. Or same, in my recommendation will be this. So these are some of the, and my favorite, the last one, just. I just want to ask this. I just want to know this. I want to know. Nothing, I'm sorry. I want to ask you something. So the just is just not cutting it anymore. So these are the words that I have found that we use in sentences, emails, conversations. And if you're more, I don't know if some of you, if you want to Google there's a commercial, Pantene, the shampoo, created a commercial about women sorry, but not sorry. And it shows women, you're sitting and a man comes and bumps you, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, right? Or sometimes you're trying to say something, somebody interrupts you, and you say, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, right? So if you have time to watch it, because it gives you goosebumps. How much will you? Yeah, I have to wrap it up. So, really quick, sorry. So now, we're going to work in the deposits that you have to make in your account. The self-care. Take care of yourself. Is the analogy of the plane. You cannot put the mask on somebody else if you're not putting it first. Whatever it does for you. Meditation, yoga, exercise, your spa day, anything, time on yourself, being in the closet for 5 minutes like our speaker said this morning, whatever is for you. The positive relationships, again, you have to focus who and how you spend your time, because I think it's really valuable. Never stop learning and welcome the challenge. That's what sprouts the growth mindset. So as an entrepreneur, you feel, I don't have time for that. Well, sometimes a podcast, sometimes a little article, is always reading, learning. Be kind to yourself, type to the first one, because I know that we can be the worst critics ourselves. We have the voice going and crawling behind us, telling us how we're not doing good, how bad we're doing, what people think about us, so you shut it down. Be grateful. I started a gratitude journal every night because even in the crappiest days, there's something that you can be grateful. And the more grateful you are, the more optimistic you're gonna be. Celebrate all progress, your first contract, your first job, your first completion, anything. Nothing is minor, everything has to be celebrated. And I believe there's this from a Saturday Night Live skit character, I think it was Al Franken. You have to tell yourself, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. And I just leave you with that sentence. Confidence is not about walking into a room thinking you're better than everyone else. It's about not comparing yourself to anybody else.
Thank you, Ale. I feel now more confident coming into what's next. So it's very efficient, what you just heard. As you know, my name is Vanessa Huerta. I'm one of the managing directors at Generator. We work with startups, and when people ask me, but what is a managing director for a VC firm? Are you like Shark Tank and you see it and people pitch at you? I'm like, yes. That's what I do, and it's really fun. It's not everything that I do, but I do that very often. So today I'm gonna tell you a little bit of how to prepare for that moment. If you're thinking, okay, I'm building this company, how do I create my first deck, and how do I present it to investors or to future clients or to someone that I want to share my idea with? So today I'm gonna talk to you about that. For the purpose of this presentation, I'm gonna go super fast. We have 10 minutes, and if you can please time me, Becky, I would appreciate that, because this presentation, I gave it in 45 minutes. So it's not gonna go as I usually do it, but I will try to be as efficient and to bring you the more information that I can. Also, for the purposes of this presentation, I'm gonna talk to you for a 5-minute pitch. There are many different kinds of pitches depending on who you're pitching to and the phase of your business, the stage where you're at, and the ask that you have. This is a 5-minute pitch that usually you would do in front of customers, investors. Okay, because it's a PDF. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll stay, yeah. So 5-minute pitch, and think of this. The pitch is a storytelling tool. So you can't just put everything in your slides and come and read, because that's not how it works. You need to practice, you need to really feel it. I always tell the founders, use your why. Explain and bring that storytelling, at least into the beginning of your presentation, so you can capture the attention. And then the data and the numbers, of course, it's very important that you know them, but you also have to be intentional. So what is the number one goal for the pitch? In my terms, I call it get nexted. What that means is really what you want is to capture the interest of whoever you're pitching to, so they can tell you, hey, let's go for coffee. I want to learn more about your business. Or, hey, I would love for you to now come to my office and do this pitch to my partners. So that's really what you're hoping to. So if you understand the goal of the pitch, then things will make sense. What you want is capture the attention to get a second meeting. Okay, let's talk about do's and don'ts to build your deck. Don't cram in every detail. Remember, this is not like I'm going to put all the information that I know in all of these slides and they're going to love it. No, what's going to happen is that they're going to be looking at your slides and they're not going to be paying attention at your words. So avoid that. What you can do is use an appendix, and I don't think we'll get to that point today, but I'm happy, to show you probably at another session how to create your appendix. But it's very different than to put everything in your slides for 5 minutes than to have an appendix and tell the investor, tell your potential customer, I do have this information, it's on my appendix, and we can talk about it later. What else you can do, and this relates to what Ale was talking to, don't get discouraged after pitching over and over and over. I had a founder that pitched 130 times to get the investment, and he was not an underrepresented founder. Putting it out there. What you have to do, take a lot of shots on goal. So meet with as many people as you can. People say, do your research, just try to pitch to investors that fit your vertical. I always say, get feedback from anyone. So try to pitch as much times as you can. Okay, what not to do? Don't let them read your slides. It's super distracting. So if you're putting slides that are crowded, that have a lot of words, what is going to happen is that they're not going to be looking at you. And then everything is over. Because remember, this is a storytelling tool. And what you should do is use big pictures and minimal text. If someone sends me an email and says, hey, Vanessa, I would love to meet you. I'm attaching my deck. And if I open it and I understand it, I'm like, people should not understand your deck if you email it. That's why you need an executive summary instead. You don't send your deck unless they ask you to, and you can have 2 different versions. But ideally, if they tell you, send me your deck, you respond, tell me a time when I can present it to you. And send your executive summary. Delivery tips. Be a visionary. It's okay. It's okay to have a big vision. It's sometimes we're shy and we're like, oh no, but if I tell them my exit strategy since day one, and if I tell them that this is just the beginning of something huge, they're not gonna like it. I think it's the opposite. People like to see people who are visionary. Know your numbers. You can't go into a meeting and presenting your deck without knowing your numbers in your head. I'm not as thinking like, oh, you need to know all your projections. No, but you need to know the opportunity, your TAM. You need to know if you have traction, how much are you selling, what's your monthly recurring revenue, what's your annual recurring revenue, things of that sort. Even if you're in a very early stage, how many people have you talked to that like your idea? If they come to me and tell me, hey, I have this wonderful idea, and I say, okay, how many people have you interviewed? And they're like, I think 10. I don't believe it. You need to have those numbers in your head. And practice. Practice, practice, practice. I practice, believe me or not, in my living room with a comb that is my microphone, and my kids watch me when I'm about to present something. It's okay. Practice in front of people. And if you're also doing virtual pitches, practice on both virtual and in person, because you never know, and it's completely different. I think we're about to hit time, so what I'm gonna go ahead and just say is the day of the pitch, be on time, please, 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 5 minutes before. You cannot arrive late to an investor pitch. We notice, we know. Second, bring your executive summary or send it beforehand. Why? Because again, you are not going to put all of the information in your deck, so an executive summary is that document, that live document, updated. Please don't send it if it's not updated. It's super important for us to have that document. And business cards, I think it's not the thing anymore, but you can bring a QR code or just have your information handy. And after you pitch, follow up. It's okay. You're not bothering anyone. Going back to Ale, it's okay to follow up. Sometimes we're super busy and we're not going to go back and say, hey, Nicole, thank you for coming. But if you email me and say, hey, I want a follow-up meeting, or what do you think about this? Do you have any advice? I would appreciate that for sure. Ask what it takes to get a yes. What if I tell you, hey, Nicole, I'm super busy this week, but I really like to meet with you, and that's it, and then you come back, what about these 3 options in the next month? So until you get a no, keep going. Even with a no, I would say sometimes keep going. And add these people that you're pitching to your update list. I call it the Friends of the Company list, and it's just a spreadsheet, nothing fancy, where if you met me today and you come to me after this and you say, hey, I'm building this startup, can I keep you updated of what I'm doing? I'm like, sure. So you send me monthly updates of where you're at. If not, believe me, we forget. We try not to, but we see so many startups that we forget. But if I get your updates, I will be like, oh, they're still working on it. Oh, when she came or he came to me, they didn't have traction. Now they have 2 clients. So try to be consistent on those updates. And how are we doing with time? Oh, I'm done. Because I was going to go with the layout, but I don't think we have time. This is just basic information that, believe me, if you follow it, you will have success with getting these pitch meetings. And again, if you're not looking for investment, it's okay. Look for feedback. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna make up for these ladies. They have a lot to talk, I don't. So I can be very quick. My part is more about how did I get here? You know, it's a pretty cool story. I moved from Mexico in 1998. And I'm gonna start with Casa Bonita because everybody loves Casa Bonita right now. But that was the first restaurant that I applied when I moved from Mexico. And they didn't hire me because I didn't have any experience. You know how you fill it up the application like, no, I never cooked before. I have no idea. So they didn't hire me, and it was for the best. I always try to find the most positive in the worst. So they say, no, you're not hired. You don't qualify to be in this place. So I went to look for a different job, and I get hired at Panzano restaurant. It is on Champa and 17, a beautiful hotel, Monaco. It was brand new. They just opened in when I went to apply. They hired me as a dishwasher, and that's how the whole story started. I guess I have one thing always on my mind that I have from my mom: don't ever give up. No matter what happened, don't give up. Just keep going, keep going. If you fail, get up and keep running. So I get hired as a dishwasher. The chef, it was Ben Davison, really good guy. It's an Italian restaurant. I don't understand shit about Italian food back then. I'm like, why these people eating this blue cheese that stinks so bad, and I don't understand. So it's a pretty cool story. I'm like, they asked me like, go get the prosciutto, go get this, and I'm like, I have no idea what are you talking about. So I start writing everything the way that it sounds in my ear. Prosciutto, I don't know, angel hair noodles, all the Italian things, right? Burrata cheese, and this, and that. And I'm like, I learning how to pronounce that in English, and I still don't learn. I speak Spanglish, by the way. Maria can be my interpreter if he needs to. But it was a challenge, and I always up to challenge. Since I was a little girl, I'm like, I want more. What else can I do? It's more to prove myself than anyone. I don't compete. Most of you guys know I've been nominated. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I say that. It's fun for your business. It's good. It brings business. But my life is never about competition. It's about being a leader, educate people, help people. And, you know, if I have to do a competition, I did one just to save money for a good cause. Those things, absolutely all day long. But competing in life is not a thing for me. I think there is so many people a lot better than me, and I wanted to learn from them. And for me, it's like all that I know, I wanted to share, and I'm sure some people are going to learn something from me. So going back to the restaurant world, it's always, the challenge was the language. It's always like, how can I communicate with people? Sometimes my business partner say, I will be by your side. I will tell them what you want because I know what you want. They don't understand what you say. So when we go to meetings with lawyers, with, you know, specific things, he's like, no, that's not what you meant. You don't understand her. This is what you want. And it's good that I have people in my life, my mentors, Jennifer Jasinski, Beth, Maria, like it's a lot of people I love you. Like, people that inspire me to get better and it be helpful. Like, you guys take the first step to being here to learn about how to look in the future. How can you make something good for your life? What is the purpose we have in life? You know, to me, it becomes a restaurant because I like to eat, and now I make tequila because I like to drink. And it's just like, what is my next motivation to keep going? And the full story is about that. What do you want in life? How do you accomplish things? I like to build teams. I like to educate people. I like to learn and educate myself. I like to remain humble and tell people, be kind to me because I don't understand everything. I'm still so ignorant in so many things, but that's why I'm here. I wanted to learn. And I think passing that message to the next generations, it's amazing. So going back, I opened my own restaurants. I work. The thing that people don't understand is 25 years in the United States, from 1998 to today. I came 21-year-old with 3 daughters and my own. What it happens from that day to where I am right now is like a very slow motion movie. It happens so many good things and so many bad things. Like going through, you know this a little bit about me. I don't talk much about my personal life. Going through domestic violence, coming from the border, like running from your life with your kids, to start learning English and start working and figure out how you protect your kids. And now here I am with grandkids now. 3 beautiful grandkids and being the chef at the place that they say no to me. So it's a really good movie in my mind. It's like everything that happened in between, not everybody needs to know. What people need to know is like when you're a good human, you do the right thing, you don't even need to say sorry. I don't say sorry if I'm trying my best. I'm making mistakes. I make a lot of bad decisions, but why I should be sorry? I didn't know any better. I'm trying my best. You know, you don't apologize if you try your best, just keep going. Sorry, fuck it. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Excuse me, I don't know. It's so many other things that you can say and do, but most important is like, keep going. Keep going always. Don't ever give up. My story is something that is important to share from different single moms, starting from there, to start you open your own restaurants that I don't understand all the legals, taxes, all of that crap. I'm like, well, hire a lawyer. Figure it out. What's next? What is my next challenge, my next step? Then get it done. And that's what I do. Now I have 4 restaurants. South Park called me to be the culinary partner. And it's an amazing challenge. Part of me is like, I have my own restaurants. I love it. I want to educate people about good, sustainable food, good, sustainable drinks, how you take care of the land when you make in mezcal, how you take care of people is my priority. My legacy is take care of people. If you pass that to generations, we will change the world. I don't care if you're a girl, you're a man. I think we all have the same opportunities in life. And the most important thing is always do the right thing, keep fighting for what you want, and you will get it eventually. And you hear that from me so many times, but that's what I tell every single person. From my kids to any entrepreneurs, have a goal in life, have a purpose, do things for the right reason, and if you don't want to do it for the right reason, don't fuck it up. That's it.
Wow, how can you follow after that? Dios mío, ¿cómo le sigo? No. Very inspiring, right? So now you've heard from, building your confidence, knowing how to pitch, and then somebody that has actually done it, right? But we cannot build anything without knowing your data, without knowing your numbers, and without preparing digitally, right? So today, with Adelante Community Development, we'll be talking about the Latino business and the digital transformation that it is required for you to really be having that online presence and be competitive. So we'll talk about, I got it. I'll roll it. Technology issues here. So today we're going to talk about, working with Latino data and the very important things about the digital access, the digital skills, the digital empowerment, and then the health and wellness. Why all of those are super important as we continue to build businesses as minorities, as Latinos, as Spanish speakers. So we're going to talk about the importance of Latinos. We are the youngest cohort in the U.S. population. I'm sure all of us knew that, right? We're here for purposely now. All of these opportunities that we have with 17 million Latinos of ages between 18 and 35, we are the new generation. We must be targeting to our own Latinos, and we in those age groups need to be very specific and very fortunate to know that it is our time. We have to be prepared. It is estimated that 78% of Latinos are going to be the workforce between 2020 and 2030. We are making all these opportunities happen, right? So it's going to take a lot of us to really get to know. You got it? Yeah. Okay. And let's talk about Latinos and the economics, right? If all of these Latinos, we living in the United States, if we were our own country, we would be the 5th largest country. Think about the power, economic power that we are bringing, right? But do we know that? Do we leverage that? Do we take advantage of this opportunity? No. We are hardworking Latinos. We are investing in opportunities, and we must take that piece of the pie, right? 1 restaurant, 10 restaurants, I don't know. But from 2010 to 2020, the U.S. Latino GDP was the fastest growing. So that means we are going to be unstoppable. We'll continue to invest. We'll continue to develop, but we must be prepared. Right? We can't get a piece of the pipe if you don't get ready for this opportunity. In regards to Latino businesses, 5 million Latinos are calling home in the United States. 5 million businesses, it's a huge number, right? And look at the room. We all want to start businesses. We know friends that are wanting to start businesses. We are getting more consultants, more opportunity, really getting us prepared. Why? It is the perfect timing for us as Latinos to be part of these not only 5 million, but continue to grow. In the opportunity when we had COVID, Latinos were opening the most businesses compared to whites. It's a very huge number, as you can see, 7% Latino-owned businesses compared to 2 white-owned businesses. We're doing something. We're entrepreneurs. It comes within our gut. It comes with our culture. It comes with the opportunity that we see to innovate, to create something that maybe didn't exist, and we are bringing solutions to the table, right? So what does that really mean? For us to really be successful, we have to be prepared digitally, okay? So let's talk about, in 2018, the American Community Survey said that Latino households lack the digital skills to a big percentage. If you look at it, 82% of Latinos households had broadband compared to 85% of the white population. So we still have that access that it's needed. Some of our Latinos do not have internet access. So what do we have to do? Work with policy, create opportunities so that Latinos that want to get ahead and have access to technology, to digital access, we have to create those through policy, through innovation ways, right? And not only that, but the devices. Look at all of us, have 1 or 2 cell phones. We have a computer, we have a laptop. However, Latino community is still struggling. 67.9% of Latinos households have a desktop compared to 77.5% white population. So we still need to be working in some of these numbers to ensure that our Latino community has the capacity and has the technology that it's needed in order for us to be competitive. What is Adelante doing right now? We're super excited about all of the opening doors for the community that we want to intentionally serve, and we intentionally want to get ahead. So we want to make sure that the goals for equity really align not only with the governor's mission of digital equity, but overall of the opportunity that we must not miss. So we want to bring the exponential opportunity to bring to community that are ready and that are not ready to learn the skills that are necessary, right? Basic technical assistance, basic awareness to really capitalize on that knowledge, but to have access. Every single one of our customers that come through our office, we ask them, do you have access to a computer? Do you have access to internet? How do we ensure that these individuals really have the access that they need in order for them to move forward? And then adopt a high-quality internet services. Working with stakeholders to identify those gaps in areas, especially rural areas, that are missing this opportunity. So we want to make sure that we promote the Latino users as consumers, that they have rights, that we are opening those devices where they need them the most to really prepare themselves to a better job, to a better future, and to really innovate in all of the possibilities. Access to digital devices. You probably have heard, all of the new Apple is coming out. How many of our community members are able to afford a new iPhone or a new technology? So really, as a nonprofit organization, servicing that, opening that door so that people know what's the new technology and how do we get them access to that. And then the skills. This is a very important opportunity as we continue to develop the skills of the future jobs. This morning I was talking to this representative from Dell. He said, I'm talking to high school students about creating a job that doesn't exist, where they're going to have to compete in the future in the next 5-10 years. And that is some of the work that Adelante is doing. In 2023, a report by the National Skills Coalition said that 92% of the jobs are going to go digital. How many of us are really prepared to be competitive at that level? What about for our Latinos? 50% of our Latinos ages 16 to 24 have little or no digital skills. Do we want to stay behind? We can't afford to stay behind and not leverage this opportunity. So it's very important for us to really advocate to the skills and the abilities that are needed for us Latinos. What is Adelante doing? We have several of our programs that are really meeting the gaps and the needs of the community. First, our educational programs, develop programs that are fully building that capacity for Spanish-speaking entrepreneurs, Spanish-speaking community members, and being at community, meeting them where they're at the flea market, at the Mexican consulate, in grocery stores, in areas of opportunities. We also have Fundamentos de Digitalización e Inteligencia Artificial. We're teaching AI. We're teaching digital fundamentals to average, hardworking Latinos, where they don't have to go to college or university. We are teaching them on their level of knowledge and access that they have. We're going over to them. We're also teaching, the language and resource tools to have them on their hand, to really be proactive. And then Adelante Digital, which is a whole platform for Latino businesses where they can create their website, develop their domain, create a marketing strategy, and really show a presence online, really be prepared. We can no longer run businesses back in the 1990s or with newspapers and postcards and all of that. And then Adelante Data, we seek to be the first Latino-led and Latino-serving organization in Colorado that keeps and develops and researches the Latino data. Everything about what we're doing and how do we improve the opportunities that we must improve. So, and in regards to the actual empowerment, we cannot continue the same behavior. So therefore, thinking about the 7% of Latinos that are represented in these occupations, with all of the empowerment that we need to do, our goal is to really raise that higher, working with the different organizations, the different partners, the different entities, so that we ensure there's a path of digital equity for all of our community. And I invite you to be part of this movement, because if we don't learn right now, if we don't help our Latino community, we will be behind, and we can't afford that. We're almost done. The Adelante work that we're doing, we seek to partner with those Hispanic serving institutions like Metro and several other organizations, because we believe partnering, we could really secure not only funding, but have the experts in these systems that need to be taught into our community, but not necessarily just in college and universities, but to community that continues to be left behind. And skill-based rather than degree-based. I'm 50 years old. finishing my first bachelor's, and I'm glad that I'm doing education right now, because otherwise I would have started all over, from being educated maybe 30 years ago, right? But all these technologies, not every one of our community members is able to go to college time-wise or cannot afford it. So it's important for us to build these community hubs where we're able to educate them and empower them. And then really think about employers' commitment. As an employer, as you're building your business, what is your commitment to build the digital literacy that is required for your employees, their family, and the community that you serve? It's very important for you to build that as a principle. And then unleashing the Latina power. Latinas, we are rocking this world. This belongs to us. We're opening the businesses by the biggest numbers. Adelante, our customers are over 80% Latinas, and we are all over the place in different industries. We're preparing ourselves. We really want to move forward. And so Adelante is really creating that opportunity for Latinas to empower their businesses, to create a digital proposal and a better quality of life for their projects. And then mentorships. We're here to mentor. What we don't know will continue to be mentored, but most of the information that we already have, we want to pass it on. That is our legacy, that is our work, and we want to ensure that we continue that. We're nonstop, because the technology of today, it's going to be replaced immediately tomorrow, so we got to get ahead as well. Health and wellness. Our Latinos are suffering their health. We need to make sure that they have access to health, and that is one of our main pillars as well. Healthy entrepreneurs, their success depends on how much they take care of themselves, how much they commit to resting and really learning and preparing themselves to go long hours in learning and coaching and making those businesses. And then mental health equals to digital strength. We all have had mental situations where we needed some assistance. Adelante is there for all of you, to really create that support, the technical assistance, the resource navigation, the ideas that you need in order for you to be mentally capable to run a business, to operate a business, and to be successful and leave a legacy. And finally, strong communities build strong businesses. This is a hub. We must support each other. Through the information that we are lacking and the opportunities that we have in front of us, we must share and we must promote the continued learning and the digital skills. This is our information on how you can get a hold of Adelante. We are in Commerce City. We serve the entire state. We have several programs and services that we offer to Spanish-speaking Latino entrepreneurs, and we welcome the opportunity for you to, take advantage of our services, but also recommend others that might need our services in order for us to really, make that positive change and positive impact that we want to create. Thank you, Becky, my professor. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you all for being here. Hey, I have the first question. We do have some time for questions, it turns out. And so my first question is to Dana. What are your restaurants? What 4 restaurants do you own?
The first one I opened is with my mentors, is Rioja on Larimer Square. My second one is Working Class, Super Mega Bien, Cantina Loca, and now Casa. And Mezcal and Tequila is Doña Loca Mezcal and Tequila.
Tell them why. Tell them why Doña Loca.
That's a whole different story.
It's a different panel. Where can they buy your mezcal?
Through all my restaurants, also like Argonaut, Montevino, Mr. B's. If you go to the website, we're 100% organic. We have a good foundation in Oaxaca to help all the females that I partner with so we can have a good quality product, and we want to give them a better life. You can find that on the website, Doña Loca Mezcal and Tequila, and you find where you can find it if you want to buy some. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. Specifically, well, first and foremost, thank you, ladies. You're all amazing, and just thank you for sharing your stories. But specifically for Adelante, I work for JP Morgan. I'm also a tech founder, doesn't matter. But JP Morgan has a BRG, or Business Resources Group. Is this the same Adelante that's a part of that program?
You haven't invited us.
Okay, well, that's good to know, because, okay, yeah, we should connect. Okay.
Absolutely, no, thank you. No, we actually did not know about the program, but it is not the same organization. But definitely, I think there's an opportunity. We're really streamlining a lot of the processes for Latino entrepreneurs, and this is only one of the programs. We have health equity, several programs for health. We have entrepreneurship, where we can have from the business compliance all the way to scaling and selling the business or franchising. So we definitely have a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurs to really capitalize on the Latino moment right now. But yes, all these funding opportunities for us to continue to do the work are very important, and building relationships and holding accountability, spaces is very important for us. So I'll be happy to, learn more about the program and see if it's a great fit for the work that we're doing. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, one of the top workshops that people ask for is QuickBooks. And it's very important because people don't know how to run and operate a business. They know the actual field work or, how to prepare the food, but the administrative part, the operations part, they lack. So they come through us. We actually have a food truck, a 20-hour food truck, how to run and operate a food truck. It's a 20-hour program, and we teach them all the way, from menu creation, marketing, branding, and really digitalizing your food truck, really bringing it to the next level. And many of our customers or clients that go through the program are already, over 85% of our customers already have their food truck, their project completed. But most of these individuals come already after they already spent the money buying the food truck, and they don't know how to create a menu, and they don't know how to get providers for the different businesses that they need. And then they get so frustrated because they lack the business compliance. They lack all of these technical support. So we guide them through the whole process. We sit with them, we do the coaching, we do the mentoring, we do the resource and referral. And I think most important, we give them the mindset that it is okay that you're going through those scenarios, and that we're here to build with you, because the Latino wealth has to be shared. And for Adelante to be thriving, we must open those doors. We must be able to be accessible and be speaking the same language and give them the opportunity that they deserve, because they haven't received the opportunity with other maybe government entities or some systems like the Small Business Development Center that does not really outreach to Spanish-speaking entrepreneurs. And there's tremendous opportunity that we, especially in Colorado, with one out of 4 businesses being Latino, it's huge. We are targeting all of these community members so that we can get them prepared, get them trained, and really be competitive and take advantage of Colorado opportunity right now.
I just want to say, working in construction, we have a lot of Latino-owned companies in construction. So I just remember meeting some of them and thinking, if I pay in cash, I don't have a debt, right? And it was like, well, yeah, but you don't exist. In this country, we have the mentality, well, in my country, if we don't have debt, we're okay. In this country, it's different. If you don't have debt, you don't exist. So you're not building your credit report. You're not building your credit history. So we have to help them understand, one thing is having debt, but how you pay it and how that helps you report. So there's those things that we support small business also in construction, because like I say, you have the technical knowledge, some of them being carpenters, mechanic, plumbers, and everything, and they want to start a business. And like you said, Diana, you have to hire other people that know what they do, right? You know what you do. But you're having those consultants help your business. And it's because we try to bring the aunt, the primo, la prima, and it's like, well, do they know the accounting? Do they know the law part? Do they know the compliance? So it's trying to surround yourself with those teams. And like I say, you need to know who you bring in order to build your business, right? And like I say, the QuickBooks, the payment, and everything, reading your contract, because the shaking hands, I just met somebody's like, well, I just make a business, but there was no contract. I almost screamed. I was like, you don't do that, right? He was like, no, I trust the guy. I'm like, no, I don't care if you trust the guy, right? He's just a 2-3 person man and working for a company, and they could take advantage of him. So like, no, you have to understand all this, and it's okay to ask the questions.
Your story is extremely inspiring to me. It talks to me because I come from a similar background. I'm divorced, I have 2 children. I actually finished culinary school during the pandemic while homeschooling 2 children and selling a ton of cookies and making food in an apartment to get by. So my question for you is, like, I'm at the point where I'm already established. I started my business in July, and the starting up was like exciting and fun. I had funds and everything, and I was feeling extremely creative. Then now that I'm in, and and I'm like selling and operating, I'm kind of like starting to feel like, what's next? So when you were in that position, what did you do? What was the next step for you to like take your brand and your concept and your vision to the next level?
It's a very interesting question because we all been through that. No matter what industry we work for, we hit that and then we're like, what's next? In our industry, the hardest part is that we need to push ourselves to have a better balance. When we have family, kids, I'm the worst person. I tell everybody, work 3 days, 10 hours, have a good life, go to the gym, eat well, and I don't do any of that on my own. So it is a hard situation, but you need to think about, my inspiration has always been my kids, my employees. Like, what is the next step, not just for me? It's like, if I open a new restaurant, I can hire more people, I can train the people, I can mentor them, and I can lead them, and then I can leave them alone, and then I go to the next step. It's just think about what you need to provide to the other ones, and include yourself, not be like me. Don't do it. But I think it's important that you need to start setting goals. To me, it was like, I'm the super old school. I have my notebook every day, my to-do list every day. I cross those things, and then I have my little bullet points. What is my next step for Dana Rodriguez, individual, for my business, working class? Let's make 3 more working classes. What is the goal for Casa Bonita? I don't want to live in Casa Bonita 24/7. It's important that you start doing that, and I think you're getting there. So think about what's your next goal that is not going to sacrifice a lot of your family, your kids, your time, your health, and then you take the next step. I'm happy to talk to you anytime. I'll give you my information. You can come and work and see my businesses and learn. And I make a lot of mistakes too, but I think we can figure it out together. Each situation is different for every individual. I have 3 kids. I was lucky that my parents moved from Mexico and helped me to take care of those kids. So I got 3 jobs. So I can invest in my first business. And then, every situation is different. But I'm happy to help as much as I can. So I'll give you my number.
And I just want to say too, I came to the term that I'm an ambitious woman, and I know that it's scary to say it, right? Because there's like, ambitious, oh, is that a bad thing? No, I'm ambitious. I want the goal. What you want to do? Okay, you're doing it now for on-home, business to person, right? You want to take it to a restaurant, you want to create more platform. So you start creating that scaling that you want, but embracing, I'm ambitious, and I'm going to keep the goals going. But again, we have been taught that ambitious has a bad connotation for women, because we know it. And again, sorry, my ma'am, but in an industry that I have seen women advance because of the results and men advance because of the potential, I'm just saying, I'm ambitious and I'm going for it. So good for you.
Because I was told no a lot, and I graduated right after the pandemic, so there were no jobs. So I didn't really have anybody to mentor me. I just went for it. I'm just gonna open my business and figure it out.
Good for you. That is amazing. Thank you. So again, my name is Becky Prater. I'm with MSU Denver. This is Ale Spray, Vanessa Huerta, woo, Dana Rodriguez, and Maria González. Thank you so much. And, you guys have a little bit of time before the next thing starts to just ask questions and, get to know them a little bit better. Thank you for showing up.